With things changing all around him, there were some life changes that Marlon couldn't control, things that would impact him more than he could ever understand.
When my husband was diagnosed, he was diagnosed very early, only because we paid attention to things. Doug and I were very close. We talked about everything. And when he noticed something and I noticed something was going on. And we decided to have it checked out. And they put him through a battery of tests. And the diagnosis was he was in very early stages of Alzheimer's.
To watch my father slowly decline, would never want to see anybody go through that. What it did to our family, and just watching this man who was strong and proud and loved his family, to one day not know who you were, it was tough.
The doctor called me in, and he told me, and then he was going to call Doug in and tell him. I said, no, I'll tell him when I'm ready. And because even though I knew about Alzheimer's, I wanted to know even more. So I went to the Alzheimer's Association and took some Saturday morning classes, and Marlon went to some with me. And one Saturday we came home from one of the meetings, and we told him, and he said, I knew it was something, but never dreamed it was that.
And when he passed, it was difficult because I was still holding out hope. I didn't know if God would do it, if he would heal him, but I know he could. And so till the day he took his last breath, I was still somewhere inside of me, maybe this is gonna be the day that God does it. And he didn't, and I'm okay with that.
Actually, my father's death made us closer, even though we were close already, you know what I mean? Because we wasn't used to being without our father, you know what I mean? Because at no point in time was we without our dad, because we looked at our dad as a superhero, you know what I mean? Because our dad was always there for us.
His father's death, overall, it impacted him in a way where he wanted to leave the same legacy his dad left. That night, so many people spoke about what his father did for them or meant to them. And just to hear the impact his dad had, the lives he touched, just in his community where he was a presence, outside of even being a constable, just as a person, a human being. When you have that many people repeatedly stand up and say something like that about your father, it leaves you with a weight, but a good weight. And it left him with that weight because, okay, this last name meant something in this community. It meant something here, and I can't tarnish that.
The part that hurts the most is I didn't get any last words from my father. There are different, diseases that are terrible, that put families through a lot, put your body through, the person that has the disease, puts your body through a lot, AIDS and cancer and different things like that. But it doesn't take your mind to the point where you can't say goodbye to your family, your loved ones, and you can't look them in the eye and say, I love you. So when we got the final word from the doctor and we took him to the hospital the last time, we were able to be there as a family and be there for my father. And I was able to say to him my goodbyes. I just wish that he could have said something back to me. When I looked him in his eyes, I couldn't see it, I couldn't hear it, so it hurt. And I had preached many sermons up to that point, but his eulogy, that was one of the toughest that I've ever had to do.
He wanted to make his family proud. He wanted to provide. That's what he did. He wanted to protect. That's what he did. So this attitude enabled him to fight the good fight.